Yeah, so this is black light one more time. So you got to find ways and means to protect yourself in your own neighborhood, and don't let the crooks take control of your neighborhood, and don't let the politicians or the corrupt police take a hold of your neighborhood. Now, each city got a city planning department. City planning, they plan 10 to 20 years ahead. There's no one from the neighborhoods that is up on that. They don't know nothing about city planning and don't know that you can influence a whole neighborhood, can influence city planning by just being in on the planning stage of a particular section of the city. So what you do is you find out about city planning, go to city hall, find out about city planning, and you get a committee together to oversee that city planning and see what they got on the table, you know, for doing something in your city, you know. And if you got block clubs, in your city, what you can have is a united block club where you might have in your section of town on the west side, you might have in a neighborhood, you might have or community, you might have 5 or 6 block clubs. Same on the east side, same on the west side, same on the north side, south side. So y'all have an annual, all y'all block clubs come together once a year or every 6 months, and y'all come together and have a united block club meeting. And you could go take this united block club, go to the common council with it. So you could dictate to the politicians what you want if you united. It'll help if the churches would be a part of that, but they got their own agenda. They just, the preacher just, they ain't for the people. They just like the Pharisees was in Jesus' day. They for the Romans. They down with the Romans. But there's some preachers that's not. So the ones that's not, you find out who they are and get them in on it. Same with the temples and the mosques, and get them in on it. And you keep your money in the community. This is communalism. This is communalism. You see? Because it don't make no difference what religion you subscribe to, what gang you subscribe to. You're all getting your ass kicked by the system. And if you keep on letting them pick you off one by one, instead of finding a way to unify yourself, then you won't have no control over your own life. Because right now they working on disarming those citizens that are good. See, I'm like this. If y'all want disarmament in the community, well, the police got to disarm. The army got to disarm. They got to stop escalating weapons of mass destruction. They got to disarm those weapons. Well, I'm going to be disarming. You got all the weapons, man. That don't make no sense. So, those of you who got weapons, some of you are good people, but, if you fight for disarmament because of these mass shootings they got, then if you ain't got no weapons to protect yourself, and they got the crooks got all the weapons, and the army and the police got all the weapons, you know, that don't make no sense. So push for everybody to disarm. The police, the army, everybody disarm. That's how that works. You see what I'm saying? Don't be no fool all your life. I'm for peace, and I like a weaponless society myself. But, you can see where they're going with this thing. So you got to govern your own community and keep the crime down and pick out anyone that has psychological problems. How can you tell if a household has psychological problems? Well, you set up a program for those who are in need of psychological help, who are in need of someone to come in and counsel, them. Come into your house and counsel them. Because not having money, see, that drives most people insane. Just not having money. Having insects in the family, having pedophiles in the family, that could drive you insane. Abusing the children in the family, that could drive you insane. So you got to have an outreach program in your community or in your neighborhood just for that. Church supposed to be able to solve that problem. But a lot of people don't go to church. So the church got to come away from that pulpit, go into the neighborhood like the Nation of Islam do and see who needs counseling. There ain't got to be a member of your church to counsel them, and that's what you call communalism. It takes a village for this to be self-governed and don't have the government governing you, because they corrupt, man. The government is corrupt. Half of the police department is corrupt. Half of the army is corrupt. You see how they roll. You see how y'all seen how the government roll, how the army roll. When they went over there in Baghdad and got prisoners, took them back. Well, I ain't got time to finish this one up, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know where I'm coming from. Be yourself and govern yourself. Yourself is a righteous man and woman that bow down to the laws of the Most High. Black light.